Welcome back to Whitt Acres. We're going back out to the goat hut so I can finish some things up. I want to add some more supports to the roof and then add the slats that I'm going to be attaching the metal roof to. I'm also going to be building a divider wall to make two separate stalls out of the goat hut. Then I'm going to go around, find all the metal that I'm going to need for the walls and roof, measure and cut all that to fit, and hopefully get it all attached so we actually have a dry building by the end of the video. It's flat, pup. So stick around as I take you through the whole building process of my new goat hut.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me.
Well, the storm did come in pretty heavy last night, so I'm back out here today to finish up this divider wall. I have some scrap boards left over. I'm gonna try and just make a wall out of what I have. Raining a little bit and the wind's picking up, but I'm going to try and get a few of these boards screwed in here. I gotta get my gate and take a measurement before I do the divider wall in the middle. I got the gate out of the barn that I plan on using for the divider wall so I could get the actual height that I need so I can put the crossbars on. I don't want the wall to actually be shorter than the gate, so I had to bring it out to measure. That's actually an old wall from our horse stalls that was on the front of the barn, the lean-to, before we tore it down, and I saved it because I figured I could use it again. I think it's gonna work out well in here. Alright, it's raining too much. I got you under a piece of bark. All right, so I got the center posts up, but that's just gonna help support the roof whenever I'm up there putting the metal on. So I didn't want to put the metal on because we're supposed to get this rainstorm with a lot of wind. Not too much wind yet, but it's probably gonna be coming later. I think I got everything ready for the metal now. I'm gonna need some help going through our metal pile to pull out the 14-foot sheets that I need for the roof. And then I already got the backs cut. And then I just have to measure and cut the sides, so it's really coming together. I don't know when the goats are coming, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. We'll find out soon. Well, we're not having much of a winter. We're getting another nice day here. We're still out of power, so the generator's running in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. I got the metal out with my dad and we got it all laid out across the driveway. So we've been separating out the metal and finding the long hole pieces that I'll be able to use for the roof. We have 3 pieces here and we measured them to 26 feet. My roof actually needs to be 14 feet. So we're gonna have to make a exception here. Cut these in half at 13 feet and make a full roof. And then the back maybe 2 feet, I'm gonna have to cut some of these smaller panels and actually patch it into the back and do a nice overlap so it's weather tight, but I won't be able to get a full sheet as the roof. So when you're using scrap materials to build things, you don't always get things to line up perfectly. So I got this laid out. I'm gonna use the grinder to cut all 3 of these in half. I have them all laid out evenly so I can cut all 3 at the same time. I'm gonna put a board under it, get these cut, and then I gotta go up to the barn and take some more measurements so we can get some walls cut out. I'm gonna get everything, all the metal cut out first, and then we're gonna try and attach it all on the same day so that when I have the walls up, the wind doesn't blow it around or put the roof up only and wind. I think it'll just be better if we put them all up at the same time. So that's the plan. All right, that is 6 panels cut for the roof. I'm gonna go back up to the goat hut and take some more measurements to make sure that's gonna be enough for the roof, make sure I have enough for the back, and to see what I need for both sides. All right, I got the measurements I need for the side walls. The side walls are 10.5 feet in depth, width. So I'm gonna need 3.5 of the panels to do that, and they're gonna have to be at least 8.5 feet tall for the first 2 and 8 feet tall for the second 1.5. We're gonna end up using a lot of our metal inventory, but I think we'll be able to get it done. Sometimes it's hard to use a lot of the materials because it's nice to have things available where you know you can do something, then you end up doing it and you don't have it there anymore, but it's for the better. From cutting the panels for the back of the goat hut, I do have 4 of these 2-foot strips that's gonna help me finish the top roof, but I need 2 more of these 2-foot strips I'm gonna have to cut from other scrap. I also have 1 more of this long dark gray material here, as well as a couple half sheets. I believe that's dark, yeah, that I'm gonna be able to use for the side. So I'm gonna pull these out, and I actually just lifted this one up. Check out what the mice are doing. They stole the sunflower seed and some corn and some scratch grains, and they got it all neatly packed up here. Sorry, mice. I'm gonna be taking that down to the chickens. Now that we get all this metal up, we can actually get back to the access door to the lower level. Whoa, puppy, don't step on that. Measuring this long panel here, I have 13 feet, so whenever I cut this down to the 8.5 foot length I need for the side walls, I'll have 4 feet left over, and if I cut that in half, I'll have 2 pieces of 2 feet, which is exactly what I need to finish the roof. Love it when a plan comes together. Huh, Pop? We actually have water in our rain harvest tank now. Oh, buddy, it's been a while. So we should have the goats coming this weekend. He's been holding them off just to make sure they're healthy and on feed before he gives them out to anybody. And then the week after that, I have chickens coming, my new egg laying flock. So we're jumping into the new season with both feet. Hey chickens, you enjoying your bubble? Huh, chickens? You enjoying your bubble, chickens? Oh, Sedgwig, I see you. Now I have the back wall, the roof, and one side cut and ready to be mounted. But I want to get everything cut so we can mount everything at the same time and hopefully not have a wind problem. Now that I got the wall laid out in the driveway, I'm going to head back up to the goat hut and re-measure, because you're supposed to measure twice and cut once to get things right. So I'm going back out to the barn to cut or re-measure, and it's only about 800 feet round trip, so it's not that big of a deal. Puppy, what's going on? Hey chickens. Chicken, what are you doing out? Get back inside. Yeah, get back in, chicken. That's not where you go. Chicken. What are you doing? Come on, chicken. There you go. You know your way in. Get in there, hop in. Go ahead, I wanna watch you do it. There you go. Stay in there, chicken. Yesterday I just made a video on reinforcing and upgrading the IBC tote goat shelter, so make sure you check that one out whenever I post it. Forever multitasking, I'm also soaking all my chicken waters and feeders so that they're nice and clean whenever the chickens come next week. So it's too muddy to take the backhoe out to the barn, so I guess I gotta wheelbarrow it. For a lot of things it's nice having a big machine, but it also restricts your access to use it whenever it gets real muddy outside. Just kidding, I'm saving those. You just out here relaxing, aren't you? Yeah, getting some sun, some fresh air, now some rubbings. Good boy. I'm gonna need to measure this last piece, puppy. I got both sides and the back on now. I just have this one little section here that I need to tighten up to the corner. I left the metal down at the house, so I just need to measure this, go down there, cut what I need, and bring that up. Finish off all the walls, and then hopefully I can get my dad to help me throw some metal up on the roof either this evening or maybe tomorrow. Trying to get it all done as quick as possible, but there's no real danger winds tonight, so I'm not going to be in any trouble just having the walls on today. I do need to go pick up another box of screws because this, what is that, pound of screws wasn't enough. I just have enough to really get things in place and a little bit secure. Then I can pick up another box of screws and finish everything up, tightening everything all the way across. I am ecstatic. This is my ecstatic face. It makes me so happy to see these walls up right now and it actually looking like a building. I still have that little gap right there, but honestly, I'm kind of leaving that go till tomorrow just to let some more airflow get through. A little bit of a pressure release valve. We don't have the roof on yet, but I'm gonna bring the metal up, I think tonight, and then hopefully me and Dad can get that metal on tomorrow. But now we are in a new building. The goat hut is coming together. I love the way it looks. It looks like it's always been here already since I used all this old wood. I'm just liking it. It's just making me really happy to see this building coming together.
Push these underneath that thing here.
Overlap like that.
I would honestly, I'd rather,
Open end that way or open end from that?
I would rather put this one on first and overlap going that way, covering this, because you got more wind this way than you do this way.
So when it blows off, it'll lift this way?
So
Or you
if
want
it
to
blows
lift
off,
this
it'll
way?
go that way.
Okay.
So pull these out. They're just going to be constantly in our way.
So my phone stopped recording up here, but I got them all screwed in. I just have to stuff these 2-foot sections under the back edge so I can cover the rest of the wood edging here. But we got pretty much a full roof coverage with the panels. I got to screw some lips down, but this is looking pretty good. I got to cut off some excess wood rafters on this side and the other side, and then I need to support that front a little bit more. We looked at the front, and a big gust of wind will probably rip that up because it has too much overhang with not enough support. So I am going to attach a 2x6 header across the front of that so I can then screw down the whole front overhang. Just make everything a lot stronger and not have to worry about it in the storms. But the hut being up here on top of this hill, one of the highest points in town, gives a nice beautiful view of the sky. Alright, that is looking so good to me right now. I'm finishing up for the day. I did get that last wall piece patched in right there, but I don't have the roof finished. The pieces I had set aside don't actually fit the ridges of the metal that I put on the roof. They're just slightly different, so they're not actually fitting together. So I'm gonna have to grab some other metal that matches that metal and try and cut some slivers of that to finish up that tomorrow, hopefully. It's supposed to rain tonight, so I was hoping I could finish that up. I might try and tuck some metal underneath just so I don't think we're supposed to get a lot of wind. So if it just comes down as a drizzle, I'll be able to cover up that wood and not get it all wet. Beautiful sky out there right now, but I guess rain is coming later tonight. Tank's already full though. And with those last few pieces on the back, all the metal is on the shed now. We have the walls made and the roof fully intact. So I still have a header to put on so I can finish attaching the metal and give this front edge a lot more support from the wind blowing and taking it up. And then I still have to cut all the support boards off the side ends, but all the metal's intact and on, so we're gonna stop here. I made the divider wall already, and I already had a gate saved from the old horse stalls that was on the front of the barn before we took that down. So I'm gonna be using that, just have to get it mounted. So next video, I'm going to be coming in here and doing all the finishing touches, adding the gates, getting everything cleaned up, some shelving, some feed areas. I already put in one of these old corner feeders that I had left over from the horse stalls already, so we saved that and I wanted to use that again in here. But everything is looking good, so I think I'm doing pretty good for being less than 3 weeks into this project. We have a full structure now, and with a little bit more work we'll have a functioning barn. Next video we'll be finishing up the goat barn, so make sure you subscribe down below. If you love nature, hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.